This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go! 70 inches! Go! They're scared! Undercrush! Go! 57 to Mike. Watch the run.
On first down, King. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35.
At their own 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Come on, dude!
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
First down, Broncos.
Set, 8-3. Here we go. Ready?
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try to draw Lindsay, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Come on, set, 30 base.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. And the Raiders have got him. Shaq Lawson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
King throwing on first down. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. King now on first down. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Third down here.
57's Mike. Mike 57. I know he ain't got it. 57's the Mike. 57's the Mike. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Shit. He's coming. Double looks ball. He's coming.
Operating from the gun. King eluding the pressure right. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they'll get it out just short of the 45 at the 44. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Set, ready. Mike the flag. Look. Joker. Go. Ball slide.
To throw is King on first and 10. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Raider first down, 17 yards. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line.
Mike 57. I'm here all day. He's checking. Crash. Check. Lucky. Jet cover.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
On first and 10, King. It's complete to Drake. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check.
2nd and 9 now. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on third down.
4-7's a mic. 4-7's a mic. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Now King operating from the gun. And he comes back with one complete. And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Zane Gonzalez on for the field goal.
Gonzalez's kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
At their own 30-yard line.
On the ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lock. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
First down, Denver.
18 Gator. Night, sweetheart.
On first down, Lindsey. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Lock. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They're going with Lindsey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Let's get off the field.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and knock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now to the air, Lock. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third.
Ready to go.
And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conley. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Here's King throwing on first down. This is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. David Montgomery, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken very short.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Lock to throw on 2nd down. And he finds Howard complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
1st down, Broncos.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At the 36-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Wait. Hey, Mike 20. 65. Let's go.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. 8, read.
Hey, we got to keep the stop here, D.
Let go.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Check nickel.
King on 1st down. And he hits Drake. That's some strong running.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Escaping the pressure right. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Back to throw. King. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider 1st. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. King now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is taken in at the 5. He got 29 yards that time. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
Looking to throw. King. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken short, and a less than desirable return as he's out of bounds at the 15-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here we go! 18 Gators!
Pick it up! Pick it up!
Pick it up!
Now it's Lindsey, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Throwing on third and long. Block. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Check, check, check. On track. Go.
To throw is King. Throwing again. This caught. Reception by Holmes. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2.
It's a party now. Trump.
Back to throw. King. The open man is Smith. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter.
Bandit. Switch. Slam.
On second down, it's Drake. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
They can't hang with us. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Flushed out right. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Ready? Hey, hold on. 57's the mic.
They'll run on first down. It's Holmes, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looking to throw. King. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball, defense.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
Now King, going to throw again. Flush to his right. And his throw is incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Check up.
57's Mike. Mike 57. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me.
They'll go again with Lindsey. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On third down, blocked. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. So that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
57. Mike 57.
Rest. That's it.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Here's King on 1st and 10. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Another run by Lindsey. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 34.
I know the game continues to evolve, and we have a lot of exotic stuff nowadays. I can't help it. I love a good old-fashioned draw play.
Who's typically fooled on defense on a play like that, a successful draw play?
Typically, it's the defensive line that's fooled because they're just pinning their ears back and going after the quarterback. And once they create some space and you get past them, you usually have a long way to go.
Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Lindsey. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, It's Lindsey, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Yeah, they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down, 3 down.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get the timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. The kick by McManus is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Mike, 50 cents. Oh, you got deep? Check 50. Check 50. Go.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it. Back to throw. King. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays to keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
Silver.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him, kicking it from a long distance.